This episode of the ResortLoop.com podcast is brought to you by Joffrey's Coffee and Tea Company. Joffrey's is proud to be the official specialty coffee of Disney. Enjoy drinks and pastries at Joffrey's kiosks throughout the parks and check out the Disney Specialty Coffee Collection only at Joffreys.com.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Please board quickly and safely. Our monorail will be departing momentarily. Thank you.
Hey everybody, welcome to ResortLoop.com. I'm your host, Bob Collar. Tim Scott, I kind of hijacked the show today. Tim Scott's not with us. I asked him if my son and I could do a quick review for this episode 213 of ResortLoop.com, before we forgot what the experience was all about. As most of you know, we just got back from Walt Disney World, and we wanted to give you an honest review of Disney Quest, both from a parent's perspective, the guy paying the bill, and also from a 14-year-old boy's perspective, and how he felt about Disney Quest. Now, my son is a gamer, so he's got the Xbox. Prior to that, he had PlayStation 2?
Yeah, the PlayStation 2.
Yeah, so he does know video gaming. So we're gonna kind of go over Disney Quest. This was our first opportunity. We got some free vouchers for Disney Quest, so I did not have to pay the $45 entry fee, which will play into our review here down the road. So you start at Disney Quest after you pay and you go in. You start actually on the second floor. Now, on the second floor, they have a thing called Radio Disney Songmaker. We didn't do any of that.
No, we didn't.
Yeah. Animation Academy. It's a 30-minute class. Learn how to draw your favorite Disney character. Now, we saw some folks doing that.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing it. It's just, I didn't think that I really wanted to spend the time, the 30 minutes, to just draw something. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, I can go online and learn how to draw, or like get a printout of Mickey Mouse and just kind of sketch that. I wouldn't say to do that if you're there for playing games.
Well, it depends. I mean, if you're into the art of Disney, it might be a fun little exercise to do. I saw a lot of adults doing that,
yeah.
older kids doing that. But as far as gaming goes, that's not really a game. So right. That was then they had living easels, which create your own masterpiece. We kind of took a look at that. That didn't seem to work real well. That was the hand that came out. You had to move stuff around in Sid's room. Is that the one I'm thinking? Oh, no, that's Sid's Create-A-Toy.
Yeah, that one didn't work well. The calibration or something was off. It was all touchscreen stuff, if you notice that. But
I couldn't get it to work either. So I'm not exactly sure what how to. I did see a little girl playing that a little bit later on. Maybe it was just the machine we were using.
Yeah.
Now, you did do the Aladdin's Magic Carpet Ride. Tell us a bit about that.
It was very cool. The technology was a little bit outdated. I think that if Disney put more money into it, it would be a really cool experience. But the graphics looked like something that came from like Nintendo.
Okay.
Or something like
graphics.
Like they were really grainy, very 80s kind of looking, if you know what I mean. Like there's a lot of 80s kind of 3D animation, but it's where you are riding a magic carpet, and you have to collect these gems in order to save Genie so you can defeat Jafar. But the gems are very hard to find since you are in these giant rooms, and these gems are just tiny little green glowy things.
Okay.
And you only have a certain amount of time to collect a certain amount of gems.
Okay.
So I was kind of disappointed because I didn't find enough, because I was just kind of admiring everything, like looking around and seeing everything.
Yeah, you sit on kind of a motorcycle seat type of thing, and you've got this helmet that comes down from the ceiling, that's wired to the ceiling, and it's virtual goggles. So it's a 3D experience, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but older technology, you felt would you have played it again the second time?
Probably not, just because I didn't feel immersed into the world. And Disney's all about making their guests feel like they are in the world of Disney, and I didn't feel that way when I played that game. Now, if they made the graphics better and maybe added more 4D elements, like maybe when you go underwater they'd kind of just mist you or something like that, if they worked more on it, then I think it would be a very enjoyable experience. And if they gave you more time to find these gems, I think it would be a lot more interesting.
Okay, all right. Now, the final thing that we did do on the second floor of Disney Quest, there's 5 floors. You start on the second floor, at least that's where you come in, was the Cyberspace Mountain, where you design and ride the roller coaster of your dreams, or, as they say, nightmares. So now that did have a height requirement of 51 inches, which you more than cleared. But how did you feel about that? Because I helped participate in the design of the roller coaster. It's a lot like Sum of All Thrills over in Epcot, if anybody's ridden Sum of All Thrills. But I thought that the graphics were not as good.
Yeah. It seems like Disney Quest, it seems like the compound itself of Disney Quest is outdated.
Okay.
Including Cyberspace Mountain. If they use the technology they use with Sum of All Thrills, I believe that it could be a very, very fun ride. And it was fun. The simulator was cool.
The simulator was very good, yeah. But it was the graphics that the computer graphics, the software actually didn't seem as modern as it could have.
It seems like if there was no screen inside it at all, and it was just the feeling, you would have had the same experience.
Gotcha.
It seems like the graphics didn't add anything to it. It didn't give you any more thrill than just not having them at all.
Yeah.
But again, if they put more money towards that, then I think it would be a really cool thing to be able to go to Sum of All Thrills without having to wait in those really long lines at Epcot.
Yeah, and it is a very long wait over at Epcot for Sum of All Thrills. All right, so then let's go to the first floor. We kind of bounced all over the Disney Quest building there to experience as much as we could, but we're gonna kind of go in order. So we went in. Then we're going to take you down to the first floor, which has the virtual jungle cruise. Now, we didn't do that.
No.
That was rafts, where you're sitting on a raft and you've got a big screen in front of you and you've got to row the raft real fast. Simulates going around the jungle cruise, and you got to get away from different animals and things like that. So that was one we didn't really experience. But we did do the Pirates of the Caribbean Battle for Buccaneer Gold.
Yes, we did.
Why don't you tell people about that? Tell them about that experience.
I believe, first of all, just right off the bat, I believe if you're going to do it, you should have a kid between 8 and 12 years old. Or 7 and 12 years old. That age limit.
For the whole Disney Quest experience, or just
no, just for the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Right.
Because it was very fun, and you have to have like more people than just 2 to do it. They can implement this service called the Ghost Captain.
Oh, right. Yeah. We had the Ghost Captain who drove the ship.
Yeah.
Right.
So we just got to shoot at the other ships, and it seems like it would be more fun if you had like a whole family with you, like 4 people, because you would be able to shoot the ships easier. because you'd have more people. But we were like running around, like shooting at all
we
of
had to
them.
go
Like,
from one side of the ship to the other, and the ship rocks. And I thought that was a very good ride.
yeah.
Because you're surrounded by this surround screen, and you're shooting at these ships, and I thought the trigger mechanism and the cannonballs were pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Wherever you were aiming, that's where it went, and the graphics looked pretty good. When the skeleton pirate came at you, it was that was pretty realistic. So I liked Pirates of the Caribbean. Like you said, it might be better with more people, with a bigger family going into it. So that one was very, very fun. Let's go upstairs to the third floor then, and that had the underground arcade, which was all the retro video games from back in my day. So you got to play some of that. It also had the Mighty Ducks pinball slam, which we did not do that. It was you were standing on these contraptions, look a little bit like segways, and I guess I don't know if you're the puck or what the deal was, but again, the graphics just a little dated. Of course, they had the racing games from back in our day, or back in my day, where you're driving the race cars. Kind of games that you're going to see at like a Chuck E. Cheese, those types of games.
Yeah.
Ventureport, which is the center of where you come in, actually. Of course, the classic games, and then Buzz Lightyear's Astro Blaster. Now, the Buzz Lightyear Astro Blaster I had trouble with because I didn't know where reverse was. So it's kind of like bumper cars with kickballs that you can shoot at people.
Yeah. It's I like to call it's like a bumper tank kind of thing.
Bumper tank, yeah, because it shoots out the front of the tank. Right.
Yeah, it's like there's a driver and then there's a gunner. It's just I think that I don't think the steering was very accurate. It seems like there was, but it was a bumper car kind of thing, and bumper cars aren't exactly
steer,
yeah.
Now, in our defense, I was driving, which was part of the problem, and I got stuck a couple of times in a corner. Bobby was trying to shoot people. What you do is you shoot at the other bumper cars. You're in an enclosed bumper car. Kind of looks like a smart car. Hate to say. Any of you loopers out there driving smart cars, that's pretty much what you're in. But anyway, shooting, that would make smart cars actually worth the money, I think, if you
put a gun on the
shoot rubber balls at people. Anyway, no. So I forgot that there was a reverse, because I'm thinking old style bumper cars where when you got stuck in a corner, you would just turn the wheel and it would work itself out. But there was a reverse on that, and when you get hit by one of the other kickballs, if you will, your bumper car spins around for 10 seconds. So we got spun around a couple of times. We did spin a couple of people. So what did you think of that ride or experience?
I think it was fun. Again, age group 7 to 12. I think that should be said for the entire Disney Quest experience, actually.
7 to 12?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it doesn't seem as fun when you're older.
Right, and when you're used to playing the Xbox 360s, and you don't have an Xbox One, but I'm sure that those games are even more realistic.
Yeah.
Same thing with the PlayStation 4 that's out now. I'm showing my age. I don't even know what the games are, the gaming systems. So anyway, then floor number 4 has a few arcade games. It's got skee ball, if you're into skee ball. And that's where you're going to find some food. They've got some pretty decent food. I thought the flatbread pizza was pretty good.
Yes, it was very
good. My mistake was we ate the flatbread pizza, which was very good. And then we went to the 5th floor.
Aww.
And we enjoyed, well, as much as you can on a full stomach, the Invasion, an extraterrestrial alien encounter. Now, I think what they were trying to do was tie that in with the extraterrestrial encounter that used to be at the Magic Kingdom. So that tells you how old and dated this game was.
Yeah.
You're sitting in a ship. You've got kind of a surround screen in front of you. One of you steers the ship, and the other one shoots the aliens. Well, in this particular one, Bobby was steering the ship, trying to pick up save the astronauts, while I was trying to shoot the aliens that were trying to get the astronauts. We saved all the astronauts. I don't know whether I hit anything or not, because it just, the graphics were horrible. And I'm just being honest. I mean, I'd love to say everything was great, but the graphics were just so dated, so old. I haven't seen graphics like that since maybe PlayStation 1 back in the day, and I just think that thing should be taken out and put something else there. They've got the technology; they can put something better in that, because all that did was it gave me motion sickness from staring at the screen while you're whipping the steering the ship around in different directions, and I did not do well with my flatbread pizza. So I was pretty much done for the rest of the day because my stomach was upset. But then the other stuff that they have, they have some more classic games up on the 5th floor, and another food place, food quest they call it, up on the 5th floor. So you got 5 floors, 3 of which are pretty much classic games.
Yeah.
The first floor was probably the best one with the Pirates of the Caribbean ride or experience. The rest of them, you're pretty much, if you're an old time gamer like myself, it was nice because I got to experience some of my old friends again. Dig Dug and Pac-Man and Asteroids. Yeah, I played that one. You have all of the classic games, but other than that, there's really only maybe 1 or 2 other games that are worthy, I would say, of being in there.
Yeah.
Now you're saying that 7 to 12 is probably the age group that would enjoy that.
Yeah, because most of the games seem childish.
Yeah,
which is a good thing. I think that Disney Quest should be a place for young kids to experience the old games and some of the new. Also, even though most of the games there are kind of outdated. So yeah, I think 7 through 12-year-olds is a very good age.
Right.
But once they're at 12, you should just stop it there.
Well, that being said, as the guy who swipes the credit card, if you will, I can't recommend it at the full price. I think that $45 is a bit much to experience Disney Quest. And now I don't know. Because we had the free vouchers, I didn't look to see if you could just go in and sit while your kids are playing. And not have to pay. I can't imagine them allowing that because all of the gaming is free. You're not, dropping quarters in like the old days. But I think $45 is way, way too much. Even on a rainy day, there's way too much now to do at Downtown Disney or the future Disney Springs for you to have to pay that kind of money for that kind of entertainment.
Yeah. Yes.
I would have rather, if we're going to spend that kind of money, I would have rather gone over and shot some pool or bowled with you over at Splitsville.
Yeah.
So now again, Bobby's 14 years old, going to be 15 this year, so you got to take that into consideration. But I'm just saying, if you can find a discount, might be worth checking out. I would say it would have to be a relatively substantial discount. Or if you're just, if you're one of those folks that just loves the old style video arcade, it might be the place for you. So that is about. Do you have anything else, Bobby?
I just want to say that my favorite part of the entire Disney Quest is when we went out of Invasion and you were near throwing up. I look to my left and I see Star Wars Trilogy, the arcade game.
Yeah.
And when I was around 6 years old, I used to play that at Chuck E. Cheese.
Right.
And that was the best game ever to me.
Right. Yeah,
and it was like, there was a sunbeam on it. I'm not sure if you heard it, but I heard like a chorus of angels singing. I'm not sure. That might have just been me. But I ran over to it, and I just got right in and just started playing. And that was the best part.
Right.
The classic arcade games were good. I liked playing Tron and all of those.
Right.
But the Star Wars Trilogy arcade was just the best.
The nice thing, I will say this, the nice thing about that kind of thing where you're not paying, you're not dropping quarters in constantly is any games like that one where it says, do you want to continue? And it counts down. Like in the old days, you'd have to shove money in real quick before the timer counted down to continue your game. You're just hitting continue, which that is kind of nice. It is nice to be able to go and play video games without having to drop all those quarters in or swipe your card like at the resort arcades. That is kind of nice. But then again, I go back to, I don't know as it's worth $45.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Definitely glad that we did it. Now we know what it's all about. So I'm glad we at least experienced Disney Quest. And anything else, Bobby?
No, I'm good.
Well, as I usually say at this time, that is all I've got. So everybody, you know where to find us on social media. We make sure you go and see Tim on social media. I haven't Dinkelman'd him. I think that's the term. All you American Idol fans from the beginning know what that means. Google that if you. Anyway, he's still around. He's going to be on the next show. So I didn't hijack it too much. But everybody, thanks for listening. You have been listening to The Gateway to the Magic. See you, everybody.
Downtown Disney. This is your utopia. Okay, if you like gaming, get ready for some interactive action like you've never seen at Disney Quest Indoor Interactive Theme Park. Disney Quest is 5 floors of gaming. Check out Cyberspace Mountain, where you design, then ride your very own roller coaster. Then climb aboard Buzz Lightyear's Astro Blasters, futuristic bumper cars that'll have you bumping and blasting your way through the galaxy. Even man your own virtual pirate ship and battle sea monsters and enemy vessels as you hunt for treasure. Disney Quest is the place for fun and games for the whole family. And it's only here at Downtown Disney. Part of your utopia, a magical place that revolves around you and your family.